Welcome to the Kind of Nerdy Girls podcast. Fandom, fun, funny.
Kind of Nerdy Girls podcast.
Welcome to the Kind of Nerdy Girls podcast. I think the jingle just said that. KJ, and it's the Supernatural post-finale edition. Before we get to that, let's meet our cast. The fun fact today, the last thing you ordered online. Let's start with Producer Johna.
Oh, me. Okay. The last thing I ordered online was my You Define You sweatshirt from Jersey Always Keep Fighting campaign. I got to my house on the day that Supernatural ended.
Very nice. Very nice. Pow. And joining us today, talking about all her favorite gaming thing and how she's married now, it is Mrs. Gamer Katie.
Woo!
Coincidentally, the last thing I bought was a couple days before the wedding. I bought matching Mr. and Mrs. Coronavirus masks.
Oh, I saw those in your pictures. They were so cute.
But that's so sad that you had to do
It's
that.
quirky.
All right.
I just have to accept it, I guess.
Joining us from the world of YouTube and TikTok nonstop, it's Alana King.
Hello. The last thing I bought online was a Christmas present for a friend who might listen to this, so I can't say what it is, but it was a Christmas present.
Nice.
Ooh, okay.
I need to follow Alana on TikTok.
It's such a big cast today. Whoa. Please stay with us. We'll get to some meaningful content, I promise. No, we won't. Joining us from Nerds and Beyond. Pow. Welcome, Sarah Wylde.
Hello. Last thing, I did some online ordering last night, actually, so this is quite easy. Walking Dead Season 9.
Ooh. All right. Now, have you seen it or?
Yes.
Okay.
I just can't leave the seasons not full. So as they come out, I get them.
Gotcha. Yeah, I bought the Doctor Who Christmas specials at 4:00 this morning because I was awake and I was like, how do I not have these already? I'm buying them now. So let's see. So I guess that was the last thing I bought online. I bought the Doctor Who Christmas specials and started watching them about 4:00 this morning because I woke up to my kitty cat Grayson puking. And then I went, and then I went into the room with the litter boxes and discovered that he had worms. So that was a fun day in my life. And we won't go any further into that. So let's move on. We're going to have a gaming update with Katie. I have a Chris Evans update that includes a very weird dream that I can't believe. I didn't text you about Johna and Katie because you were both in it, but I was like, I can't text them about this. I have to tell them about this. And now it's been like a week and a half since I had that dream. And so that will be coming up. But first I want to get into, so the last episode that aired was recorded in my garage, sitting outside, socially distanced with producer Johna. And it was about an hour and a half before the finale of Supernatural. So
Before my life was ruined.
So we were kind of sharing our retrospective and how much we've loved Supernatural, and then our hopes for the finale and how we were feeling about it. And the funny thing is that I went back and edited it and I listened to it and I was like, oh, I kind of predicted how I was going to feel, which was raging.
Oh, no.
I actually said in the podcast, what if we just like really hate it and then we have to do a bonus rage episode?
And here we are.
No,
a week
but
later.
I'm really glad, Alana, you are the wise soul that you are, because originally I had said, let's record on Friday morning after the finale.
And I said, absolutely not. I love you. Let's wait.
So here we are, and I want to obviously like kind of go around and see where everybody was and where you're at. Well, let's start with you, Alana, since we waited. we've now waited long enough. How you doing today? How are you with Supernatural being over?
I feel like I'm going through the stages of grief, if that makes any sense. So there's been like bouts of sadness, there's been some anger, there's been memes, lots of memes that are just so wonderfully hilarious. I feel like I've been going through all the emotions over the past week. I don't really still 100% know how to feel because I feel like every day my opinion kind of changes. If that makes any sense.
Yeah,
And so,
I think that's grief, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
it's hard. I don't know. It's just hard to kind of formulate thoughts on everything because I feel like I'm still digesting things. And then also I feel like every day there's like new information coming out about like things that have been happening with it. Like every day there's a new development. I saw someone post a meme that was like, only Supernatural could be like the show that is still going after it has ended.
So true.
Like, surprise, there is a season 16. We're just all living it.
Yeah. Johna, how are you doing?
I mean, I literally didn't sleep at all Thursday night after I got home. Like, I slept like absolute trash.
You guys, Johna was like, I mean, she was like doing the like heaving, sobbing.
Yes, I was crying very hard.
It was the worst because we were so far apart and I just wanted to hug her and all I could do was sit over in my rage and
I know KJ was so mad.
And be even more mad that I couldn't hug Johna.
But I mean, I've gotten better over the past few days. I think the more I talk about it with people who don't even actually care, like my mother, for instance, and Katie. Well, Katie, you texted me. You can't act like you didn't care because you texted me.
Well, I care about you, not the show.
But I just keep telling everyone about it who doesn't care because it makes me feel better. And
like, listen, I just came here to get a love sack.
For real.
I don't care what happened to Sam.
I just came in here to buy a sectional, and I'm like, no, you better listen to me. I'll quote you for your sectional in a second. Yes, their couches are called sectionals. Yes.
Johna works at Lovesack, and you can get a sectional.
I mean, I've been okay the past few days. I've been sleeping a little bit better. I don't know. I just kind of, just so weird for me to think that this, for me, I mean, everybody else has been like a 15-year investment, but for me, it's been like almost a 10-year type investment. And it's still so hard to believe that it's actually over.
Yeah. Sarah Wylde, how are you doing?
Not bad. Tomorrow could be different because it's like, oh, wait. When I come home from work, there's not something I have to get ready for.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I didn't think about that.
I know. Like,
and you don't have, because Sarah is in Canada, so she doesn't even have, like, she can't stuff herself with turkey tomorrow. I mean, you could, but like, you don't.
Technically could.
But like, you don't have some holiday that you can like rationalize. Oh, Supernatural wouldn't be on tonight.
Yeah, I could just sit here and eat this pumpkin pie.
I mean, right now it would be on hiatus technically because it's a holiday coming up. So we would have to wait till next year anyway.
Although
Just
I do
a very
remember
indefinite hiatus.
there was one year where they aired a new episode on Thanksgiving because I remember having to leave everyone and be like, I will be back in an hour.
Been there.
You know, it makes me so mad that we don't have that thing at Christmas with Doctor Who because they've always done a Christmas special. And the last few years they haven't. And that was like our out. Like, we're done with Christmas and we got to be home because Doctor Who's going to be on. And now I'm like, I still don't want to spend this much time with you. We're still going home and pretending that Doctor Who is on. Now, Katie, without being super spoilery, like, what do you know just from being an outsider who watched Supernatural for a few years in the beginning, and now you're just seeing it, as Alana said, it's like just continuing on, even though the finale has aired.
So I'm still at the part where Lucifer just showed up for the first time. So that's a while back.
Goodness.
Yeah.
And from what I hear, they just totally Game of Thrones the ending.
You know what? Can I ask, like, is there anyone here who feels like it was on the level of Game of Thrones disaster? It's okay if you do.
I didn't watch Game of Thrones, so I don't have an opinion on it.
Okay.
I found Game of Thrones was a bit more than this. It was like, this was better. Like, I found Supernatural was better than Game of Thrones.
Yeah. Alana, did you watch Game of Thrones?
I did, but I like barely remember the last season. I just remember not loving it.
Yeah. Well, and I think I was kind of surprised when I saw some people going there. I was like, wow. I mean, like Game of Thrones was just a bad last season. Go ahead,
Yes.
Johna.
I will say that people probably, I mean, they're saying that, but it's not very Game of Thronesy because technically anyone who's watched Supernatural for as long as it's been on TV, you knew how it was going to end. So you can't say that Game of Thrones did because we all technically knew that it was going to end one way or the other how it did, just not exactly how it was going to happen, if that makes sense.
I really thought like the episode before, that was how I imagined it ending.
Well, same, but then I was like, oh, wait, we still have a whole nother episode. Okay, prepare for heartbreak.
Right. And so I, like with a half hour in, without going into details, that was when I jumped ship and went into this rage, which I tried to think of something to compare it to. Like, when have I have been so blackout ragey? Right, Johna? Like, it hurt.
She was so mad.
I was holding myself because I felt like if I let go, that my insides were going to explode. Like my ribs were going to shatter from rage. Intense. And I wasn't like, I was trying to rationalize it. Like, you knew like something like this, like when we were going to have this episode after that episode, you knew this, but it was not, there was no rationalizing it. And so I want to know, has anybody or does anyone plan on rewatching it to see how you feel a second time?
Maybe when it hits Netflix.
I am actually rewatching it tomorrow night on Zoom with my friend who hasn't seen it yet.
Oh gosh.
So I'm like, okay. I said, yeah, no, we're good.
Would you rewatch it if you didn't have to be support for your friend?
Maybe not this soon.
Okay. Alana?
I'm kind of in the same boat. Like, it kind of physically pains me to like even see like clips from it at this point. It just makes me sad. So I think I need to wait a little bit before I rewatch it because otherwise I just start crying immediately, and I've already been doing enough of that. So yeah.
Okay.
Did you guys see the picture Jensen posted on his Instagram like the day after?
Yes.
Yes.
I literally was like, Jensen, how rude. How dare you?
Can you describe for those at home who may not have seen it, Johna?
Well, there was a picture of Jensen pointing at something that may or may not have been in the episode that was terrible.
Oh my God.
And then he goes, props, can we remove this from set, please? Like, that was his caption. And I was like, Jensen, why are you literally so rude? Like, how dare you say this to me on the day after my heart has been shattered? I can't even believe it.
I was like, not funny. Nope, not trying to be funny.
I didn't even laugh.
Trying to lighten the mood, Jensen. It's not working. No. I'm still raging over here. Oh, God.
Every time I just see like a meme or like it just literally anything about it, I just immediately just like start crying. Like I just get so sad.
There is one meme that I'm seeing that is not making me sad or ragey. Mm-hmm. And that is the meme of Sam's wig.
Yes, his wig was very bad.
I really want to know what happened there. Like,
that's the only thing from that episode I've seen.
That was what Katie was sending me all day, was just different memes of Sam's wig.
It
was bad. I was like, they couldn't have brushed his hair. Like,
why do you have to Party City it?
They also didn't give him any old man makeup in that one scene, like what he's sitting in the Impala. So it's just like Jared now with a Party City wig and glasses.
I just want to say that Sam did not get old man enough for me because he still looked hella buff even with his gray hair, and I was like, whose grandpa do you know that looks like that? Nobody. I don't know anyone's grandpa or dad who looks like that and they have all that gray hair. Like, what the hell?
Don't y'all know the only thing you need to be old is glasses?
Already there.
Boy.
I mean, I have been waiting and maybe, I don't know, tell me if you've seen anything. I've been waiting for some sort of explanation. Like, it pains me to look at anything supernatural related, but I'm waiting for someone to explain the wig.
They won't. It's just gonna be left there for everyone just to talk shit about. That's all it's gonna be.
I saw a meme that was like the last big bad of Supernatural was Sam's wig.
It was Witcher bad, I will say. And I would say that, and look, and I feel like the Witcher's wig was probably a little bit better than Sam's.
Oh,
like,
Katie is mad. You just attacked her Witcher.
I've been telling her that the Witcher's wig is bad literally since I saw a preview for it, so she can't.
That's okay, Johna. You can be wrong.
Nothing. There is no wig worse than Sam's. Like, it
was awful.
How were they on the set?
It was like a Muppet, literally.
It literally looks like they just put it on top of his head and was like, "Go, we're filming right now. Walk on set."
I mean, it sounds like, from what I've seen, they probably just like that was the last scene they shot, and they're like, "All right, let's hurry up. We haven't paid past our deposit. Got to finish this one shot."
I mean, they could have took it out of the bag the day before and had it on like a mannequin head so it could like loosen up a little bit. It just looks so stiff. Yeah, something. Put some oil in it. I don't know. It just looked really terrible.
What was it even doing on the set? What was that horrible wig?
Who bought that?
Who did that? that is the real investigation.
How much did they pay for it?
All right. Well, is there anything that you all have seen a post Supernatural finale? Like I said, there's been a lot of articles, a lot of posts from the cast and stuff. Is there anything that you've seen that impacted you in a way that changed how you felt about the finale? Or is it all just kind of cathartic or too raw?
No, really.
That's changed.
Nothing's changed.
No.
I mean, most of the stuff that's been coming out, I kind of already knew.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, it kind of really doesn't shock me. Like, the whole thing about Jensen not liking the ending thing.
I do have to say that, like, without really going in depth on the issues that are really being talked about the episode, but like as a season overall, I think that season 15 had a pacing problem. And I think that they should have done things differently, paced it differently, and ended a certain storyline earlier to explore what could then happen after said storyline before just one episode was left, and then everything seemed really rushed and not paced correctly, and then things happened and it was very, I don't know, just felt very disjointed. Like the whole season felt disjointed, and I don't know if there's a better way that I could be articulating that, but I feel like, I don't know, it's just a little bit, I don't know what the right word is, but I guess mainly it's just the pacing.
Yeah, no, I think that's fair, because remember, I mean, there was like in the beginning, we were kind of waiting. Like it just felt like, what are we doing here? Like, I
mean, I went back and I started rewatching season 15, and there are so many like little random plot lines that don't make any difference in the main overall story. They're just there. And then you forget about them the next episode, and they weren't necessary, and they didn't add anything. And it's like they could have been using this time to build a really solid arc, because like the whole idea of the Chuck as the villain and he's writing their story and they can't get out of it, that's a really cool idea.
Yeah,
it's really cool. And they dropped the ball, I think, on the execution of that idea, which is sad because it was the last season, you know?
No, it's not, because now we're going to get the Kripke cut.
Yeah.
I just want y'all to know that while we were watching, we saw 3 promos for Walker, and every time it came on, Katie was like, "I want to see your effing promo for Walker." I was like, okay. I was so angry at the Walker promos, and I was like, okay.
I apologize, Johna, for my behavior.
She was so grumpy.
I was real mad. But I again, when I think back, when you started like sobbing that I got mad at COVID, right? And so how much of this can we go back and say, had they not had to stop what they were doing, change things, shoot things different ways, all of the stuff that they had to do, use a terrible wig because it's the only one left from the pandemic. Like, I don't know, all the wigs got COVID or something, and that was the last one left.
That's the only thing you can find in Canada.
Right. I don't know. I guess we'll never really know, but I mean, it would be nice to hear at some point the what if, or maybe it won't be. And maybe Alana, maybe that's what they planned and it just fell flat because they were so, I mean, one of the things that I wonder about is with the emotional attachment to the show. Were the people writing the last season so emotionally attached that they couldn't finish the story, right? That they were wanting to, because it did feel like sometimes they were like bringing characters back just to like bring someone back, to like add them in and things like that. And that nostalgia.
Literally, because what was Adam's purpose in season 15? Because he really didn't have one. I think they just brought him back because everyone was like, damn, is he still in hell?
that was another thing that just made me upset in episode 19, what they did with Michael.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not going to get into it because I don't want to get into spoilers, but I was a little disappointed that he kind of regressed. It seemed like his character just regressed in what he was doing. Anyway.
Yeah, that was, like you said, I mean, that if that was going to happen, that needed to happen maybe a little sooner so that there was some story development to understand it, because it was just like, oh, okay.
And you were like, all right, that's nice.
I just kind of feel like a lot of character developments that happened just kind of got thrown out the window, just in general. Like, not even like specifically any character, but just like a lot of them. You're just like, maybe their character could have been a little bit better. And I mean, like, what was the whole, I mean, I get the Mrs. Butters thing, like, oh, we want a happy episode or whatever. But what purpose did her episode actually serve us? Nothing. Like, it just, I don't know. It just kind of seemed like they were just throwing everything in. And then they were like, all right, done. And then they left. And okay, this isn't how that was supposed to happen. I don't know.
All right. How do we make this happy, guys? What are happy things about Supernatural?
It was one of my main bonding points with KJ when I was interning for her.
What was your favorite episode?
Oof.
Favorite episode ever?
Or another one. Who's your favorite character and why?
Ever? I have to pick one?
If you can only pick one.
Jeez.
Ooh, yeesh.
Good job.
Works for the news.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like we need to think about that, don't we? Could anybody here answer that like right off the bat?
No, I really have to think about it.
Alana, can you? Because Jared.
Well, I don't know. I've always loved Sam ever since the beginning. So I would say that he is my favorite character.
Mm-hmm.
But I also know that my favorite episode of the show, like I could tell you right off the bat, is Baby.
That's a good episode.
I love that episode. Well, first of all, Robbie Thompson is one of my favorite writers, and he wrote that episode. And I just think that he did a phenomenal job with it. But also from like a filmmaking standpoint, it's so clever because the whole episode is from the point of view of the Impala. And so not only from like a storytelling aspect, but also from like an artistic standpoint, the camera angles and everything, the way it was acted, like it's just so well done. And then if you also look at it as a part of season 11 as a whole, it ties into the season 11 storyline. So like it's so good. I don't know.
No, I agree. I mean, I tend to be a bit of a sucker for inanimate objects that take on a character, Serenity and Firefly and the Millennium Falcon and Baby for sure. So that the fact that it got to the point that this car deserved, and it did, its own episode, and then they shot it in such a cool way. I agree. I think, that was part of what they got to do in having a series that went on this long, was sort of start to explore different ways to celebrate the show that, you might not get to do in a show that goes 6 or 7 seasons. And we all know, watching from the beginning, that there was a good chance that this show wasn't going to go 15 seasons. There were plenty of times where we sat there waiting for the renewal announcement, right?
refresh.
you, Sarah? You have we could talk about favorite episodes here.
I always love going back to Scooby Natural. Just
Yep.
the fact that it was like, well, obviously supernatural, but we're managed to cross over with the cartoon of Scooby-Doo. It was just amazing for what they could do for that.
And that was like sort of another one that was years in the making and kind of talked about, and wouldn't it be cool if this could happen? And then to see it all come together, that was actually, we put that on, that was like our pre-party before we got into the retrospective, which I found interesting. Sarah, Alana, did you know that Sarah got the finale flip-flopped, that in Canada they got the retrospective after?
Yeah.
Did it air at the same time?
No, we got it in the finale an hour before. So because originally I was supposed to Zoom with a group of people, but I was watching the episode with someone, and it kind of worked out because I would have been talking about the episode.
Oh my gosh.
Honestly, I would have liked the retrospective afterwards, personally.
I was thinking about that too. I think I probably would have calmed down a little bit and got like the warm and fuzzy feelings about how I loved this show if I had seen it after the fact.
Yeah.
I actually preferred it that way.
I feel the opposite, because I know that I would not have been able to focus on the retrospective after that finale. Like it took all of my mental capacity to come up here and edit my reaction video. Like I could not focus on anything. Like it took me longer to edit this than it usually takes. And so I feel like if the retrospective had aired after, I would have been checked out.
I don't know. Well, we'll never know, because that's the way it went. Right? We can't get that night back, as much as I would like to be like. I would
go back in time.
I would like to go back in time, and I don't know, maybe take some Xanax or something before that episode.
Bruh. Maybe have a couple of drinks, maybe. I don't know. Something.
Yeah.
A few.
I don't know. All right. Well, I don't think that we're going to get to, I think we're all kind of still in this spot of it's just sinking in, right? We're still taking it in. I'm less ragey, although I have moments where I'm very ragey. And then I'm like, but I think you have to wrap your head around, even for you, Alana, who in general just thought that the season itself and not the finale didn't meet your expectations, that we will get to a place where Supernatural is something that we remember as a whole wonderful thing in our lifetime and isn't as raw that it ended, or that it ended in a way that maybe we couldn't accept, or not the way that we wanted it to.
And I mean, I don't ever want it to come across as just because I didn't like this season and I wasn't like extremely thrilled about the way that a lot of things were executed. Like that doesn't mean that I don't still love the show and that I'm not grateful for everything that it's given me, because I mean, like I wouldn't be sitting here talking to all of you without this show. So I've also been trying over the past week to just be really grateful for what it has given me and like the community. And there have been some really cool like charity fan projects that have like renewed my hope in everything. And like,
Yes.
I don't know, it's just kind of like that kind of stuff.
Johna, you gonna make it?
I know, I'm like watching him like, what's happening?
I'm like,
I swear to God, I'm not laughing. No, I swear to God, I'm not laughing.
That's what I'm like. Alana's being very insightful here, and Johna's like,
I'm just like, oh, the community, and Johna's like,
No,
that's
I'm so
hilarious.
that is hilarious. No.
Because I feel the exact same way. Because Katie sent me a meme, and it was a Supernatural meme. It's really messed up. I wasn't laughing at you because I feel the same way. Like, I literally wouldn't have as many friends that I do, and I wouldn't, have like bonded with KJ or ever met you or Shelly or like anyone in the Supernatural world. Like Supernatural has literally given me so much to basically live for in the time of my life. So I agree with you wholeheartedly. It's Katie's fault that I was laughing because she sent me a meme.
We're gonna need that meme posted in the Kinda Nerdy Network and on Twitter.
You got it.
You don't want to. She'll post it, but I'm gonna let her post it and
Katie,
tag you
post
in
it. Post it from you. Oh, you probably don't have the kind of nerdy accounts anyway. Post it from
I do.
you. Don't you? Okay. I'm worried about Jonna's reaction that it's inappropriate. So I
My
don't
God,
want
I
to.
No, it's not. It's a supernatural meme,
It's a
but it's like
spoiler.
Oh, okay.
it's really
Ooh,
messed up.
Okay.
Also, who knew that Jensen had a tattoo on his arm? Because I sure did not.
Oh, I
Oh
knew.
yeah, and he
I
and
did
it's
not.
been added to now.
Y'all know what? I will say that I was like, okay, maybe this episode's gonna be okay because literally first scene, Sam no shirt. I was like, okay, maybe it's gonna be fine. Maybe it's gonna be good. No, and then it just
It went downhill.
blew up right in my face.
You know what? I'm going back to that moment, John. Patches isn't here to defend himself, but do you remember that he like remarked about that? Like,
Yeah.
we don't see Jared without a shirt so much.
I love seeing Jared without a shirt.
I
then he
also
also-
enjoy that.
He also said, he was like, I don't think Jensen's like ever had like, Jensen has had his shirt off a few times, but you never got like the full ab view. Like, you know, when we had Soulless Sam and he was literally just shirtless like damn near the whole season.
Mhm.
I
Best
forgot about
season.
that. That's right.
He was so good as Soulless Sam. Jared Padalecki just A+ on acting with like Soulless Sam and being possessed by Lucifer and like the Archangels. Like just A+ for that shit because he did so good with
He
that.
did, and I wish that Jensen would have had more of that.
Yes.
He kind of did. I mean, like he had the whole Michael thing, and he had Demon
Yep.
Dean, which did not last very long.
Dude,
Demon Dean and Michael
Dean-
didn't last very long.
But like Demon Dean does something to me.
Mm.
So it was
Yes,
so-
but it was
love
so
Demon Dean.
short. It was
I know.
short. It was
So
like
do you know why it was so short?
no.
It's because they had the 200th episode, and that was fan fiction, and so they had to resolve it before they got to the 200th episode, and that's why that plot line was so short.
Oh, that's such a bummer because you were met like there are moments of Supernatural that are like burned in your brain. And just like, I remember the moment that his eyes went black, right? And you're like, this is going to be awesome. This is going to be great. And then it was great and over so quickly.
I mean, that's what I was told as to why, but I don't know for sure.
Oh, good God. Johna just like left. I don't know what that meme was you sent her, Katie, but she's done.
I put it in our little group chat.
Oh, you did? Oh, I never checked the group chat. Oh, you mean on our phones?
because it's spoilery to the final episode. I know what
Oh.
happens.
Okay. All right.
Mhm.
Oh, she said she's coming back. Okay. It's okay. But let's get to something Katie is interested in, which is gaming.
Oh, hey,
Yeah, Katie's gaming update.
just sitting here trying to get my hands on a PS5. Impossible.
Yeah. How is that going to work?
I'm probably going to have to wait months and months.
Now, because is anybody doing them online? I know Walmart was like pitching the fact that they were going to have them, but shouldn't they just be online? I mean, I don't know. Shouldn't there be a lottery or I don't know. Like, I don't want anyone to die because they went to Walmart to get a PS5.
Agreed.
I worked when I was in radio. We would do for multiple years. We did our show live from a mall on Black Friday. And so we would be inside before anyone else because we had to get there at 3:30 in the morning to set up so that our show could be live at 5. And we would be there for the whole thing, and you would see people like lining up against the doors. And when the doors opened, just like rushing in. And I'm like, what on earth could be so important that you would willing to like die in a stampede for it? Like, this is crazy. And now stampede and pandemic? No. Nope. I will be doing my shopping online. Welcome back, Johna.
Thanks.
We are in the middle.
You're back. I missed you.
We are in the middle of our gaming update with Katie. So
Fun.
you didn't miss.
I
it.
literally just like hit my computer on accident, and it was just like, yeah, we don't work anymore, and it just like froze up, and then I had to shut it off, and I need a new laptop.
Katie, so let's talk. You're trying to get the PS5. Are there games that are coming out specifically for the PS5 that you're trying to get your hands on, or that you won't be able to play until you get it?
The one I'm most excited for, because I could buy it right now, is
Okay.
Assassin's Creed Valhalla, which I talked about already. It's the one where you get to play as a Viking.
Oh yeah. I saw a preview for that today, and I thought I would really like to watch Katie play that.
Oh, I'm so excited.
Not that she wants to play. She wants to watch you play.
No.
I just don't have the self-control to tell my weight to purchase it. It's in my cart, and I look at it multiple times a day.
It's in your cart. Just get it.
One click away.
Oh my
She
god.
can't.
Just get it.
She won't.
Do it.
I'm probably going to.
Do it. And then you're gonna think about how many days it sat in your cart and you could already have it. Just get it done.
She's probably doing that now.
Is gaming life any different as a married woman? Okay, well, based on your face, I don't know that I want details.
About what? You cut out and I didn't hear you.
Oh, I asked if that is awesome. That's a clip that you're going to need to see. Is gaming life any different as a married woman?
No, we don't hold hands while we play games or anything.
Okay.
Well, you need both hands to play games.
Exactly.
Wah, 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 wah. It's time for the Chris Evans update. Chris Evans update. Wah, wah. He was trending because apparently among his talents, he can also play piano. And that was a beautiful thing. If you haven't seen it yet.
It was beautiful.
So, and it triggered me. This is what reminded me about my dream. And I was like, oh my gosh, I never told anyone about this dream. I didn't even tell Patches. This was like, this is fresh content for the Kind of Nerdy.
I can't wait for him to hear this.
Okay, he's never going to hear this. So
That's true.
Okay, so I want you, in our dreams, there's no pandemic, right? So we go to New York Comic Con, me and Johna and Katie, and we are we get our press passes and we're all excited. And so we got off the plane and we got our passes and everything, and we're going to check into our hotel. And we get there and they're like, the hotel has been overbooked. We're so sorry. And we're freaking out. We're like, oh my God, what are we going to do? We're going to be homeless in New York and we're not going to be. And so we're all freaking out. And they said, but we have had some people offer to share hotel rooms if you would be willing to bunk with other people. And we're like, why not? Whatever we got to do. We're at New York Comic Con. We need some place to sleep. They put us in Chris Evans' suite. So we go up the elevator and we got the special key that you only have to go up, so that you can get and the suite opens up and Chris Evans is sitting on this badass. It's not a sectional, Johna, but it was a badass sectional. And he's like, how you doing, ladies? Come on in. We're all in this together. And we're like, what? He's like, yeah. He's introducing himself. And we're like, we know who you are. We know who you are. We're totally going to hang out with you, New York Comic Con. This is going to be awesome. And so, okay, so listen. So he threw a party. No famous people were there. It was just us.
Lame.
Chris Evans, but Dodger was there. So
yay.
And it was great. It was so real. I was in Dodger's face, who's a good dog? You're a good dog. So listen, we get ready to go. Day one, New York Comic Con, right?
I'm crying.
Okay, and there's one shower in Chris Evans' suite. Okay, it's a badass pad, right? It's all laid out.
Oh my God!
One shower. So
I'm about to die.
So Chris was a gentleman, and he let us all shower first, and then he showers and he comes out and he's walking around in a towel, and in my dream, we're all fine with that. We're so tight at this point that it's like he's our brother, and so it's like,
oh no,
normal.
that's
that he's
terrible.
Yeah, I know, Johna, I know. So you and Katie are going ahead, and Chris asked me to stay back for a second.
I would never let that happen. I would never let that happen.
It's not knowing where you think it's going. It's like, Chris Evans in a towel, and I'm like, you guys got to go. And because he wants to be alone with me, he gets dressed and he sits down on the bed and he says, I don't know what to do, KJ. I'm so nervous. Tonight I'm debuting my band. And we haven't performed in front of anyone. And he pours his heart out to me about how nervous he is that he and his band are going to play a gig tonight and they've never played in front of anyone. And he gets his guitar out and he's like strumming his guitar. And you guys, it wasn't good. Okay. And so I'm like, I cannot tell Chris Evans that he sucks at guitar. Like
he's like your brother. You're supposed to do that.
Yeah.
Oh man.
So listen. So I pep talked him, and I totally like lied to him and told him that it was going to be great. And we went to the show, and somehow like he's like, I gotta thank my friend KJ who gave me the courage to get up here tonight. And this is this is what I've always wanted to do. I love acting, but I want to be in a band and we're gonna play tonight. And he rocked it and he did great because I pep talked him and told him he could do it. I
am dead. Oh my God.
It's the dumbest dream.
That's the best dream I've ever heard in my entire life.
But
that is my favorite.
We had so
We're
much
putting this
fun.
on our Patreon right now.
Oh my God, Johna, we had so much fun. Like you and me and Katie, we were in the front row, like, and we're like jamming, and it was kind of like ska, like it was like totally outdated 90s stuff. I was kind of, like it was not good, but he rocked it. I'm proud of him.
I'm deceased.
So then when I saw his Insta story, his Instagram story, and he's playing the piano, I'm like, oh, he's better at piano than he is at guitar. But then I remember that it was just a dream, that he was really bad at guitar in my dream.
I am dead.
Like, shit, I never told anyone that we went to New York Comic Con. We shared a hotel room with Chris Evans. And I gave him a pep talk about even though how he sucked, he should chase his dreams and perform with his band.
I want you to know that my 3 favorite parts of that were, 1, when we go into his hotel room, he's like, hey guys, what's up? I'm Chris Evans. Like, we don't already know that, number 1. Number 2, when he's walking around in town, you're like, we're just fine with that. Like, obviously, I would be just fine with that, okay? I would not complain at all. And then 3, the whole band thing, it just made me think of What's Your Number when he was in that band.
The dumbest dream. And like,
that's the best dream.
And then you guys, we had all the snacks. Like Chris Evans he provided everything. There was one point where you guys, this was the longest dream of my life. There was a point where you guys went to the machines and you came back because you wanted Coke, and he only had Pepsi products. And I was like, oh my God. Chris, you're not even going to understand. Just let him go.
Now it's a nightmare.
Right.
Pepsi. Ew.
All right. So anyway, that's my brain.
I'm putting this on our Patreon.
Okay, thank you.
That is hilarious. Oh my God.
I don't have anything else to add. Oh, yes, I do. I've been watching Christmas movies, Johna.
Yay.
I downloaded the Hallmark app and I got a notification that a Saturday night I can watch Allison Sweeney and Mark Lucas, who was Riley and Buffy, her college boyfriend. So I was super excited about that. They're going to be in a movie called Good Morning Christmas. And I was like, I'm setting the DVR right now for that. But I watched one yesterday called Christmas in Montana that had Colin Ferguson from Eureka. And I hated the girl that he fell in love with. So the movie was good, except she was terrible. I know, I'm going all in. I was like, Johna would be really proud of me. I am
so proud of you.
Started watching the Christmas Chronicles with Kurt Russell.
It's so good.
That's really cute. Really cute.
I love it.
I did fall asleep though, so I'm going to have to finish it. But not because it's bad, but because I sleep a lot now because, COVID. So that's
felt that.
Yeah.
I literally slept till noon today because I didn't have to go to work.
Oh, nice. All right, guys. I love you. Thanks for being here. We'll see you soon.